Welcome into the Week 13 edition of the Commissioner's Corner in the League of Extraordinary Salesmen. The 49ers looked really bad against the Bills and got blown out in the snow 35-10. A very unfortunate stand to their season as Christian McCaffrey also limped off the field and is now put on season-ending IR, which is devastating. While the Jets could not hold on to a 21-7 lead over the Seattle Seahawks, ultimately losing 26-21, just adding insult to injury there. But a congratulations goes out to Simmons with a 155.05 to 132.1 victory over Jesse. It was Bucky Irving and James Cook that put him in a position for it, but it was ultimately Nick Chubb's late touchdown catch on Monday night against the Broncos that helped give it to Simmons. So a big congratulations there. Now, let's see what our worst to first segment is, brought to you by Dolan.
Hey everybody, Dolan here, and just wanted to get this in. So I had the worst score of the week. Surprise, surprise, my team is pretty terrible. Simmons, big congratulations to you. Your team was awesome. Looks like it's maybe on the up and up. At the very least, it's better than mine. I haven't had a lot of sleep lately, and so I felt like the best way to sort of record this video was to use some diapers. So here we go. So Simmons, your team had an excellent performance, and just like this fresh, brand new diaper, basically flawless, right? And you're ready for next week. Just a clean performance all around. You've got players contributing from all over, like all of these various features on these Huggies Swaddlers. So your team was just looking so good, like a clean, fresh diaper. For me, though, it's a little bit different story. So on the surface, team kind of looks okay. We've got some decent players, but when you open it up, you see things are not looking too good. And yeah, I think that kind of sums it up.
Thank you, Dolan, for that. Looked quite lovely. Perfect analogy. Now that you have baby Owen in there, a lot more of those diapers to go around, and everybody else in here that has kids knows the feeling. Spent many a time changing out those diapers. So I would say perfect analogy with that poopy diaper and your roster. With that, let's take a look at some other matchups from around the league. Matthew put up a good fight and had a chance to get a win, but an unfortunate injury to CMC and a snow game doomed him as I get the 133.9 to 114 victory. Tony makes a big trade at the deadline for Baker Mayfield, but that didn't pan out this week as he fails to put up 6 points, while Jeff gets the narrow 117.95 to 115.45 win. Nick had a solid day, but it wasn't enough as Goody nearly gets the top score with Kyron returning to form and Najee leading him to a 150.8 to 129.4 victory. Matt is feeling all the frustration that fantasy football brings as he was thinking he might have a chance at the playoffs until Jerry Jeudy blew the doors off this game and went off for 39 points to give Jacob the 118.4 to 100.8 win.
Hey guys, welcome back to our original uniforms. Had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you and your families did as well. Continuing my cycle of producing the lowest score of the week, just creating shit shows among this league. Like Simmons, thanks a lot, brother. We continue to enjoy the dysmorphia there. Crazy week games coming up this week for some of us who are sitting on bye weeks. Thank you. You're welcome for being at the top of this league, not the very top, but close enough. I'm sure Joseph will continue to destroy me this week, but looking forward to some of the Yuck for Yellow races. Can't wait to get on that train. and seeing who actually makes the playoffs. But anyway, it's time for your sit or sub of the week segment. The sit of the week goes to Tony, where he played Gus Edwards against a stout Atlanta run defense over anybody else on his roster. This was a devastating blow to his playoff chances because had he picked a different player off his bench, that would have given him a win over Jeff. The sub of the week goes to Jeff with the waiver wire pickup of the Seahawks defense. By dropping the Niners D and adding Seattle, this created a 19-point difference and helped him secure that win over Tony. Well, this has been unofficially brought to you by Beach at Deli Midtown, where aloha is served daily.
Looking ahead to next week, we are going to take a glimpse. It's time for our playoff picture preview. With 1 week remaining in the regular season, it's time to turn our attention to how the playoffs are shaping up. We don't have much in terms of meaningful football this week, but let's break it down. I have already earned the number 1 seed and a bye with an impressive 11-2 record and posting the most points for in the league. Val has locked up the number 2 seed and the other bye with a 10-3 record and a 2-game lead over Nick and Jeff. While Nick and Jeff will either be the 3 or 4 seed based on the outcome of week 14. And Jacob, with his stunning come from behind win over Matt, has put him in the playoffs as either the 5 or the 6 seed. In our first game of the week, Goody will take on Tony. Goody has had a solid season from a production standpoint, but just hasn't been able to get the wins, while Tony has tried to make moves at every turn to keep his season alive. He'll have one last chance here. The goal is simple: win and get in. Lose and your season is over. In the consolation bracket, Dolan got to make a nice little video. Matt, realizing that fantasy football is both fun and really frustrating. And lastly, Simmons, who did get this week's high score. They all share something in common, which is they have absolutely nothing to play for. And in the second game of the week, I have speculated about this very scenario a month ago, and here we are. Jesse is taking on Matthew. Jesse has been absolutely abysmal in the back half of the season, losing 6 consecutive games, and truly could just not buy himself a win. Matthew, however, made some risky trades early in the season that just never panned out. Tyreek Hill has not been the same player since, especially with Tua missing time in October, and CMC having major multiple injuries as he failed to score a single touchdown in the 2024 season. This is not the game you want to be in, as the loser here will be our Yuck for Yellow winner. Best of luck, boys. So, as we turn our attention to week 14, it's time to remember what we are all playing for. Of course, we're all going for the Big for Blue League Champion placard. Tony and Goody, they will be the last ones. One of them is going to make the playoffs with a chance to earn this. The other, unfortunately, will be sitting at home, not able to compete for this. But the good news is they don't have to compete for this. This lucky guy is going to either Matthew or Jesse. Either one of them. Ooh, sorry, got a little hair in my throat. One of these little guys is going to Jesse or Matthew. Matthew has looked like this was destined for him all season, but Jesse did a very nice job of absolutely sucking the last half of the season. So he's put him in this predicament where this could be his too. So as we look ahead, the Packers are taking on the Lions on Thursday night, and the 49ers are taking on the Bears. Again, hopefully get something positive against the Bears. We still statistically are not eliminated from the playoffs, but our chances are very slim. And the Jets are taking on the Dolphins, so they also might get run out of the building. So hopefully you all have a wonderful week, and best of luck to those who are playing meaningful games. Commissioner out.